There we go. Okay, last time we had a little bit of issues with the sound. Can you guys just leave in the chat box that you can hear me? Just say yes or an emoji, a thumbs up. Just let me know audio's working. Last time, I think I spoke for like 5 minutes, no audio. What up, Mikey? I'll be listening from every device. What do you think? AI will be listening from every device. Yes, you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. Yes. Okay. Yeah, AI getting plugged in. What do we think about that? What's the thoughts on AI in general? The fact that AI is plugged into our phones. I don't know. Are we moving too quick? What's the feeling, gang? Let's see what everybody thinks. Yeah, boy. Gravel blood. Let's go. Where you at? I'm in my office. I'm not AI. Dan Wilder. Okay. Allen Iverson. Okay. GME is. What's going on with GME? I haven't seen. I haven't been looking lately. Last I saw a couple days ago, it was coming on. It was on the way down. All right. Let's see. Mikey just bought Rich Dad Poor Dad because of you. Jacob, I'm so stoked. I actually, when I posted that video, so if you didn't see it a couple days ago, I posted like 5 books that I think are just absolutely incredible. And I got multiple photos from friends of mine showing me a photo of all the books. Like they saw it, purchased it. Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad is just one of those classics. Joey Chestnut canceled. Is that the beginning of the end? We'll see. Corporations already operate like we fear AI will. Yeah, you know what though? I agree with you with corporations. I think it's a little bit, there's a lot of concern. It's not even concern. At this point, there's a lot that just sucks, like if we're being real. Corporations have become too big, and it's like we forgot about the monopoly thing. And regulation, yeah, there's a whole circle of crap that's going on that's not very, I think, healthy for the economy or for us. But AI, if AI becomes, I'm always holding a pen, if AI becomes the thing that we're concerned about, everything that we're experiencing with corporatism or just these large corporations, it will be nothing in comparison. Like AI, there's a fear element that will be unlike. There's a fear that AI will become something that we have never seen before. That's the scary part. But there's a part of AI that's really cool. I think you should keep your mouth shut. IN9K, my man, you're the one that chose to be here, not me. I mean, are we really shocked to get to this point? Yeah, that's a good point. Are you still skating, Mikey? Not that much. Only a few times a year, actually. It's pretty much just when my kids want me to skate. Other than that, it's just it's a time thing. It's like, I've talked about this on some of the lives before. If, like, we all have so much time in a day, right? Right now for me, I've got 3 things that are just very time consuming. I have my business, and my business is, and this is not me complaining. I'm stoked on this, but this isn't just like me, like solopreneur running my own business and working when I choose. The business has gotten to a point where it's pretty sizable and there's a lot of responsibility. So for more context, we now have, I think like almost 600 investors. Last time I looked, we had raised like almost $170 million. Like it's a lot of money and there's a lot of responsibility to that. So like I don't take that lightly that people entrust us with something that takes a lot of our time to make. And there's a lot of trust that goes into having somebody else manage an investment for you. So I try not to drop the ball here. I try to give it like my all while I'm working at our company Commune. Second part, I'm a husband and a dad. Like I have 4 kids, and finding the time to spend with them is important. And that's somewhat limited because from, Monday through Friday at least, like I leave the house before they wake up. I come home, we do dinner, basically get the kids ready for bed, and then they're asleep. So Saturdays and Sundays are really my time to hang out with the family. I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays anymore. And then I'm on city council. And it's not a full-time job. City council is a part-time job, but it's another responsibility. Like, you're creating the policies that the community lives by. There's a lot of responsibility on that as well. So it's kind of one of those things. Like, okay, if I'm going to skate more, what am I going to drop to do it? And right now, I just don't have that option on the table. I'm hoping, though, that, and this is my hope, that when my kids get a little bit older, I think it's going to be my son, just by his personality type, that he'll skate. And if he skates, then if he goes, Dad, let's go skateboard together, well, now I get to hang out with my kids and skateboard. That's like, that'll be probably the thing that gets me to a point where I'm skating a lot more, because I'm barely skating right now. All right, Kane Gale, I miss you too, man. I was actually thinking about you the other day because I saw you skating at the skate park. And one, it reminded me of how cool your style was. Two, reminded me of how good of times we had when we were on City Stars. And three, following up the conversation we just had, it made me realize how little I'm skateboarding. So that was awesome to see you skate. Who is developing this AI? I think we must choose wisely who that is. It can be used against us, and simply there has never been a generation that hasn't seen war. Yeah, who creates it? Well, you're correct. I guess it comes down to this, right? If you're creating just like an AI that doesn't truly think for itself, then who's creating it is everything, because you're creating the foundation or the outlook or the ideology that it's going to have when it's responding. So 100%. If we get to the point, though, where AI like thinks for itself, I don't know. Like, does it matter who creates it at that point? Interesting, right? Watched In Bloom again the other day. I haven't watched In Bloom in a long time. I like that video. I love to switch No Comply 180, all steezy with long hair. Oh, heck yeah. All right, let me just peek over, make sure I'm not abandoning anybody on YouTube. All right. Would love to see you hang out with P-Rod and Chris Cole again soon. I hang out with Paul pretty often. I actually see him and talk to him a lot. I haven't seen Cole in a long time, though. I would love to see Cole. It's seriously been a long time, actually. And yeah, I won't speak about that. I saw some stuff that kind of sucked. Does this one, the door, a truly open source? Yeah, exactly. Gravel Blood, I appreciate you. Let's see. I have AI designing my solar panel installations, not the same as the human touch. Yeah, I agree. We use AI for our company, mainly on the marketing stuff. Like, anytime we need to create, newsletters or ad copy or investor relations, like, AI is pretty helpful for that. We also have a AI tool that when people opt in to invest with us, the tool basically sends an email and a text message, and it's not like what would you call it? It's not an automated message. It's like actually creating copy for you. That stuff's cool. Like, from a productivity standpoint, it's psycho. It's just, it is scary to think what it could become, Jamie Thomas, what are you doing on Instagram, dude? Oh, hey, I'm looking forward. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to kind of just tell this really quick. The podcast we were doing, Life with Mikey, I called Jamie and had a talk with him probably 2 months ago because I really wanted to come on the show. And the stuff that we talked about and where I think the conversation is going to go for the podcast, it's going to be a cool one. It's going to be special. It's going to be deep. And I don't know if it goes according to where I think it's going to go. It'll be something I've never seen as far as Jamie Thomas like talking about and opening up about. So I'm hoping that comes about here pretty soon. Last time I talked, we were going to try to do it this summer. So Jamie, if you're still with us, you're hearing me. I'm looking forward to seeing you, hanging out. I hope you're well. I would love to skate with you, man. You know what? I need to. The last time I skated was probably 4 months ago. which sounds insane. I just don't use it a lot. I would say the tools that I use the most, I use ChatGPT a lot just on helping with copy. There's gosh, I'm going to blank on the AI tool we use for the text messaging and email marketing. It's an Israeli tech, actually. I got to remember the name, but it's super good. But I would say probably, honestly, we use ChatGPT more than anything. I know that's like a very standard one, but because it's like we're using it the most for copy, that's probably the most common one we're using. Just finished street skating, successful in Germany. Heck yeah. It's been a long time since I've been to Germany. You should do a meet and greet with Safas Foos. Okay, I don't know what that is. I listen to AI songs and talk to my AI on Snapchat. Welcomed better. I heard Gary Vee talking about this, that he thinks soon there's going to be no influencers because there's AI influencers now, and they're difficult to work with. Like, if you think about it from a company standpoint, like a company is, like let's say a company hires out an influencer, right? They're trying to get the influencer to create some, like stick to their script, which is a whole nother conversation. They're expensive. A lot of times, like influencers are kind of like how skaters were, like a little bit difficult to work with. So they're expensive and can be a pain. The second companies start investing in AI influencers, you can make the argument that it is now cheaper with less headache, considering people are okay with the fact that they're following people that aren't real, which I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'm going to have to think about that. That's an interesting conversation. Hey, on my end for Instagram, I save all your videos. I appreciate you, legend. On my end on the Instagram, it looks like my video froze. Will you guys just leave a comment? Let me know if the video is working. Maybe it just froze on my end. If AI gets rid of Gary Vee, it's working. Heavy. Heavy one. Will you guys just leave me a comment saying that if it's working or not? Do you talk to Sheckler? I haven't talked to Sheckler since his golf tournament. I actually won his golf tournament last year. It's such a fun tournament, but that's the last time I talked to Sheckler. Sal Barbier, Mikey podcast, please. I would love to get Sal on. Working. Okay, so it's just frozen on my end. That's good to know. That would be good to get Sal on. That's a good idea. Does Sal have his own podcast, or are we getting Sal on ours? Yeah, I mean, either way. Like, I'll get Sal. I would do a podcast with Sal for sure. That'd be great. It's working, just lagging. Dang. You know what? I might know why it's lagging. I'm using a different camera today. This camera might be, it might be streaming to sometimes there's an issue when it's streaming at 4K. Like some of the streaming services actually don't allow you to do 4K. So that could be the issue. I decided to film with the Canon 5D today. So I might have to tweak that. He's usually a guest, but he's got a BMX model company now. Oh, sick. I'll reach out to him. What's the biggest contest check you ever got? Maybe, did I get $10,000? I came in 6th place at an X Games one year, which was the best I have ever done. I think it was like 10 grand or something like that. That might have been the biggest. I wasn't a contest guy. When you came to Portugal, I was a kid. It was one of the best days of my life. Daniel, Portugal was one of my favorite places. I remember that trip. That had to have been like over 10 years ago now. That was a fun trip. Portugal is a special place. Thanks for sharing more financial information. Wall 2 Street, you got it. You see, I just posted something actually today. There's something on the ballot. It's called the California Personal Finance Act or Initiative. What is it? No, it's Finance Act. And we're going to vote on it in November, and basically it's going to require that kids learn personal finance and how to manage money in school in California. And it's interesting because, when they polled nationally, I think the last poll they did was like 22. Nationally, 90% of people approved teaching personal finance in school, right? And there's like full-blown opposition for the bill in California, and it's coming from like educators. Like I just did this video. If you guys want to go back and watch it, it's live right now. 2 professors, one from USC and one from Berkeley, and they're opposing the bill. They're like, part of their reason I'm okay with, I just don't think it's right in this example. But what they're saying is, one, there's a way to go about creating curriculum, and this isn't the right way to do it. And if you allow voters to choose the curriculum, this could set precedent that's dangerous, right? And then the second person basically said, the teachers and the elected local officials are better at creating the curriculum than the people. And like the only reason why I give a portion of that sympathy is because of me being on city council. And what we have on city council is a lot of time the state tells us to do things. And it's kind of the idea that us living in this city know this city better than the state knows the city. And sometimes the state initiative doesn't apply to our city. So that's the only part of it where I kind of have some grace, but here's the reality. Money is one of those things that everyone uses. It's like reading and writing, right? You are going to have to use it. You need to know how to manage it. And the fact that we have not been teaching kids about money for this long it's out of this world. Like it is just pure insanity that we don't teach this. And so, where I'm landing on this thing is like, if you guys are frustrated that people are voting this in, where were you? Like, you should have put this into the school system decades ago. Like, you dropped the ball for real. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, it's starting to feel like it's done on purpose because it is that one thing that every single person needs to know. Like, why aren't you teaching these kids about money? It's insane that you don't. And so that's on the ballot. I think it's going to pass easily. I don't even think I think it's going to be like that. Now, what they teach kids is a whole nother thing. If this thing gets approved, what they teach kids about money is going to be the next challenge, right? Because I could really see them teaching stuff that's not real, We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if they teach kids that debt is bad. What's economics then? Economics is not money management. Economics is how to understand economics. And here's actually where I give you pushback. For me, I graduated high school. I did not go to college. I have no education past high school, right? And for the first 10 years, I was skateboarding. It wasn't until I started my first business where I really started learning about money because we had to raise money to do it. We didn't have enough money ourselves. And I learned a lot about supply and demand, right? And then moving into real estate, same thing. Like economics plays such a big part in real estate as well. And you'd be blown away with how little people know about economics. There's times where I feel like I'm a professor in economics talking to other people that have no clue what's going on. And these aren't like just like your everyday person. This is like, even on city council, like there's like officials and people that we speak that have no clue how economics work. It's pure insanity. So yes, are there economic classes? There are. It's nothing to do with money at all. At all. Learning about money and how to manage money and how to invest and about debt. Debt is probably the biggest piece of this thing. Like the fact that when we do talk about money and we do talk about debt, debt is perceived as bad and it's a blanket statement and you stay away from debt. That is setting people up to fail. And so, the idea that we don't teach the difference between leverage and consumer debt, it's important. It's really important. Those kids are supposed to be against their parents. What the F? But they sell out and get brainwashed. Yeah. Well, look at what kind of people they are and who their parents are. They deserve to be deported, not educated. What has their native country done for them? Nothing except teach them to go against our CPU. The school system doesn't want people to understand how money works. The reason why is because more people wouldn't want to go to college, which is a business. Millions would be lost. You know what? Like, to Wall Street's point, that's kind of like where I'm landing on this thing. It's been so long of not teaching money. It gets hard to make the case that there's not a reason for it. You know, like I did hear somebody say, actually, when I said one of the opposing reasons that one of the professors said is they don't want to add too many requirements and make it too hard to graduate. That was a crazy one. That is just like, guys, the job of school is to educate our kids so that they can go off and be successful people. The reality that we just keep moving the bar lower and lower, we're doing a disservice for the next generation. But the college thing is another one. Like, college is, I think we're at a point now where, how could I say this? There's more people now asking the question, is college worth it, than any time since I've been alive. Like, the cost of college and the return on your investment of the cost and your time, people are starting to ask that. And so, you know, I think the rubber's meeting the road personally, like, especially when you add in just everything we've went through with inflation and like the reality that like the trades and there's other places to make money outside of college. I think there's only going to be more and more people that start looking for alternatives. Did any sponsorships give you health insurance? Joe Hurley, they did not. I actually tried to do this. Thank God they said no. So when I was on DVS, I tried it. I wanted them to make me an employee so that I could get health insurance. And they said no. And then when I quit DVS, I was given an opportunity to basically come and rebuild Etnies. And so I had a little bit of leverage. And so one of my things is like, make me an employee, like make me a W-2 employee, because I was so focused on healthcare, health insurance. Thank God they said no. The reason why they said no is because it's very hard to fire an employee in California. And skaters, their life expectancy for a career is very short. And so they didn't want to get stuck with a skater. You might think that's harsh. I wasn't even mad at that part. But thank God they didn't, because the amount of deductions and write-offs you can have as a 1099 or self-employed versus a W-2 is night and day. And so if that would have happened, I would have had to pay way more in taxes. I would have made less money by doing so. So thankfully, I just fronted the health insurance myself, which is a little bit expensive as a pro skateboarder. They don't teach it because they need factory workers. You know what? That was definitely the... that was the idea of like Rockefellers, right? Rockefellers coming in and building out the education system during the Industrial Revolution and having the system that creates employees, and so if you don't educate them on how to be entrepreneurs, everyone will work for the big players. I don't know if that's relevant anymore. And I understand why you're saying that. I totally get it. But the reason why I say that, I think even if you taught people about money, taught people about entrepreneurship, I don't think the majority of people will still choose to start business. And the reason why I say that, and I could be wrong, this is just kind of a thought. Everyone has, one, different risk tolerance, and two, it seems that most people want security and comfort versus uncertainty and risk, even if they have the potential of making a lot of money. And so, look, would there be more entrepreneurs? 100%. Would it be better for our economy? I think so. But nowadays, and why I said the part about Rockefeller, and I don't know if that's at play anymore, with what's happening with AI, in a lot of fields, you're not going to need employees the way you do now. Which there's another problem or another challenge that's going to be created from this, but I'm not sure that's relevant anymore. We'll see. Mikey, what are you assuming for your vertical hard costs? In California, for us, it's basically, I would say if you're, like, I guess to keep it simple for people that aren't in real estate, an easy way to talk about costs would be like a price per unit. And right now for us, it's landing between $400,000 and $450,000 per unit is where our cost for going vertical in California is right now. Our system still works like that based on the Persian school system. Have you ever met Dave Ramsey, Joe Hurley? I have never met Dave Ramsey. I would actually like to get Dave on the podcast. And look, you know what I'll say about Dave? And I think it's good to just be really honest about this one. I have criticism about Dave primarily when it comes to debt. But what I will say about Dave, if you look at just the contribution that he's made to society, it's been a huge net benefit. Like, having Dave Ramsey in this world is better than not, like significantly better, because he has probably helped more people get out of debt than any person on this planet. And we're talking about the bad debt here. And when you're in consumer debt, like honestly, it can feel like jail. Like, it's very easy to feel hopeless, and it's very easy to become depressed and have like a very dark outlook. To get somebody out of that is huge. And what he charges to do that is like nothing. And so, even though I do give Dave criticism, I want to preface it with, I am very glad Dave Ramsey is here. Now, when it comes to debt, I think he's tripping, But a big reason why I think he's tripping is what I'm doing. I am not his avatar. Like, the person that he's helping is the person in consumer debt. What I'm doing and the person that I'm trying to help on social media is the person that wants to get to financial freedom. Like, you don't even need to want to be like super wealthy. Like, I just want people to understand how to get to a point where your investments cover your lifestyle. And to do that, if you're not using debt, it's just, one, it'll take forever, but two, it just almost isn't relevant for the system that we're playing in. Like, our entire country is built off debt and credit. Like, to not use it, it doesn't make sense to me. Unless you are so risk adverse that any type of risk will put you in a position where you will not sleep at night, totally fair. Bro, I just want to have enough to take care of my family and be able to skate freely every day. Do right, I love that. There is nothing wrong with that at all. I actually, to tell you the truth, like, for me, there's no difference really if my net worth is 20 million or 200 million. Zero difference. For me, it's not even like about the money. Like, I am so good living a modest lifestyle. What I enjoy is more the game. Like, I like playing the game. I like setting goals, and I like what you have to go through to achieve your goals. And money just happens to be kind of an easy bar to set, as far as like, if you do like the game of like setting goals and achieving them. But money itself, it's actually never really done anything for me. And you know what I realized this? I was young. I remember like being 19, 20. I'm skateboarding, right? I'm out of high school. I'm skateboarding. I'm making $500 a month I was making $800 a month. I was making $500 a month from, $500 a month from Santa Cruz, I think, was paying me $500 a month. And then Duff's was paying me $300. Is that what it was? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm making $800 a month, right? And I remember thinking to myself, I am so happy right now. Like, this is the life. If I can love my life and go be with my friends and enjoy myself, like, I'm not making money and I'm just so happy. I remember that thought. I'm not making a lot of money and I'm so happy. And I think that's kind of when it hit me. Like, that's not what I'm looking for enjoyment out of life. Now, look, I'm not naive. You know, when you get older and you get some responsibility and you start having kids, even if you're not having kids, like you live in a state like California, it's hard just to get by just from a cost standpoint. And so I'm mindful of that. And so I think you do need to make enough to just like survive. But when you start talking about excess, that's when it doesn't really do much for me. Like, it's just as options at that point. And honestly, I would enjoy my life the same. Coming to work every day like I do, working on growing the business, coming home, seeing the kids, spending time with them on the weekends, like that I'm pretty happy doing that. So I don't know, a little bit of rant. More money, more problems. That is true. How does someone become an investor with Commune? Is there a minimum amount someone has to invest? Hydro Crow Nick. Okay, so right now, as of right now, not allowed to talk about the next thing, if anybody understands what I'm saying, but for right now, you have to be an accredited investor to invest with us. So this is an SEC regulation. I don't love it. It is what it is. You have to make $200,000 a year as a single individual, or if you're married, well, forget I said that. $200,000 a year as an individual, $300,000 a year if you're married, or $1 million net worth excluding your primary residence. If you have, one of those, you qualify as an accredited investor. That just opens the door, right? It opens the door for private offerings. That's what our company creates. From there, you have minimum investments. With our funds, the minimum investments typically are $100,000. This is expensive. And a lot of that is kind of set off of the having to be an accredited investor. And so that's what it takes if you want to be an investor with us. Basically, for those on Instagram, since you asked the question, you can DM me the word invest. DM me the word invest. Our software is going to pop up. It's going to ask you for your information. Put your information in, and Hannah or Bruce or Tawny are going to give you a call on Wednesday and schedule some time for you to speak with either Michael. Sometimes I'll jump on and speak to investors, and then we'll send you all our information. And if what we're doing fits, then people become investors with us. The amount of investors actually that are coming in through social media is crazy. Like it's so many now, which is so cool. So that's a really fun thing. But for those that are not accredited yet, this is my biggest pushback about private real estate, private equity, venture, tech. These assets, this is what the wealthy are playing in, right? Like I was talking about this on a video the other day, that the percentage breakdown that the wealthy have in the stock market versus alternatives, which is that bucket, it's like 50% of the portfolio is in alternatives, which is private real estate, private credit, venture, private equity. It's only about less than 30%. 28% is in the stock market, right? And the performance on alternatives has been much higher than the stock market, an extra 5 points, right? So everyone over here putting their money on alternatives, if you're looking at the averages, they're doubling their money every 5 years. Where in the stock market, you're doubling it every 8. And so that 3 years starts getting really significant when you consider compound interest, right? You invest 100K. That 100K turns into 200K in 5 years. Well, the next doubling, it's not another 100K, right? Because now you have 200. So now you get 200 back. So your 1 goes to 2, your 2 to 4, your 4 to 8, your 8 to 6, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that everyone doesn't have access to private offerings, I don't like at all. It's always felt, like it's done to make it so the majority of people stay middle class or lower. and the wealthy get to play the wealthy game. I don't like that. Now, what the SEC will say, and they'll make the argument that, look, this is a protection, and we know how powerful marketing can be. So let's say I was ill-intended, and I know how to create content, and I know how to, move somebody's emotion, and I know how to get somebody to act. You can definitely make the argument that you can be manipulative with marketing, and you can trick people into things, right? Sounds like certain people selling certain investments already. Anyway, they say that they want to create a protection so that people aren't taken advantage of when people are marketing. Where it falls on its face to me is they're putting a dollar amount or an annual income and using that threshold to qualify somebody as knowing something about investing. That's where this thing starts getting lost. Like the amount of people I know that make an just ungodly amount of money, right? Millions a year that know nothing about money. It's a lot. It's probably more than those who do. And the amount of friends I have that make like 80 grand a year, 120 grand a year that know about investing, a lot of cases, it's them that know more than the people making a ton of money. The other thing that's like really good for everybody to know, the like really rich people, they're not that smart. They're really not that impressive. They're typically good at one thing, and they've learned how to use that one kind of, honed in skill to bring people around them to then go out and monetize. But like you meet somebody worth 20 million bucks, 30 million bucks, they're not like blowing the doors down with like brilliance or even just like, they're just not that impressive typically. Now, that's not the case for billionaires. We had somebody in the office yesterday, billionaire, very, very, very impressive. He came over, I spent 2 hours with him. He was, okay, so typically you have like the numbers person, the introvert, the analytical person, or you have like the charisma person, right? The people person, the sales guy. And you don't always get crossover. This guy was like such a good blend of like being able to get in the weeds on anything financial, but had the charisma to carry a room and grab everybody's attention. He was very impressive. So billionaires, they're on a different level. The guys that are worth 5, 10, 15, a lot of times they're not that impressive. I don't even know what got me on that. Do you or your company invest in crypto? What are your thoughts? No, our company actually only invests in commercial real estate. We invest in multifamily apartments and storage units. That's it. Now, what I want to do in the future, I just need to build it out a little bit. I do want to create I want to create additional arms of commune. Like I am going to want to create a private equity arm, a venture arm. I don't know if I'll create a crypto arm, but I do want to eventually offer more than just real estate to our investors. At least have 200K hit your bank account, let the funds sit for a week, and you can invest it, and have the funds removed by the parent account, which would make a fraudulent credit line. I'm not tracking. $200,000 a year by yourself is gold. Bro, I'd be happy with that bring home. I feel it. Yeah, I feel it. What's crazy though, depending on where you live, that could feel like two different things. Making $200K a year in Iowa, you are big chillin'. Making $200K in California, different thing. So cost of living is going to play a big part of this. How are you, Mikey? I'm going to look at the Costco gap. Let's go. No crypto. Those are scams. Yep. Dude, come to Bloomington. We're booming in storage and commercial real estate. Andy, I love it. We're actually, the last storage project we closed on, we're about to start developing, is in Indiana. And then we have another one that we have under contract. It's a little bit more local to us. I live in California, so local, like out here. All right. Let me look over at YouTube. All right. What's going on, everybody? This is, could you ever combine your holdings into a REIT? Danny. Okay, so we have a handful of offerings right now it's called an unlisted REIT, or think of it as a private REIT. What you're asking really is, would I ever do a public REIT? I wish I could talk about this. I can't talk about it. How can I say it without saying it? I am working on something right now that I think all of you will be very excited about. I guess that's all I can say. But I would love to do something like that. I wonder if I hope I didn't give it away. Well, I kind of wanted to give away, but I can't say it. Ever think about building in Reno? No, I would build storage in Reno. Our multifamily outlook is a little bit contrarian. We're only building in California. We want basically the hardest markets to build in. And so some of the markets that I think are healthy actually for real estate, because it's easy to build, we stay away from. To Tanner, current favorite PGA player. I gotta say, man, like Scotty was, Scotty, of course, is he's always been phenomenal, but I'm starting to like him more and more. I know he's like not the most exciting, but Scotty just seems like the freaking best dude. So I'm starting to like him, like Xander. Who else would I say? I don't know. I like some of the OGs now. Like I like JT a lot. I don't know. I would probably say my favorite right now. I like Max. I think Max is sick. Shoot, man, it's hard to not like Scotty right now. He's kind of the champ, huh? All right. Anybody have the certificate of deposit CDs game on lock? Because there isn't any good ones from any banks in California. No, I don't have like that on lock. Who would win at golf, you or P-Rod? Well, I would beat P-Rod, always. I did play him in our series Pin High. Did I tie him or did he beat me? I think I tied him, but that was a shocker. And it was only like 4 holes. It wasn't a full round. Hey, you know what? If I could ask you guys, who on here is following the podcast, Life with Mikey? And what do you guys think? Or better yet, if you are not listening or you're not subscribed, I would totally appreciate it if you subscribe to either Apple or Spotify. Or if you want to follow our YouTube channel, it's just on mine, Mikey Taylor. Who should I invite for guests? I need to start working on a couple new people. I had 2 guests in here last week. They're going to be phenomenal. The next episode is going to be sick. Who should I bring on here, though? I need some ideas. Wayne, what's going on? Who is next in line on the podcast? And what do you guys think? What's been your favorite one so far? And I need to start stepping up the frequency. Like right now, we're on every other week because I just wanted to make sure I could handle that with my schedule. I can. So I need to get this thing to weekly. Bro, where is Maddie at? Ain't spoke to him in years. He's actually at my parents' house. Andy, Jeff Rally. Whoa. That would be a sick one. I'm going to hit Jeff. That would be really good. Jeff Rally. Elon. Oh, I would love to get Elon. That would be a freaking dream. I don't know why. How have I not had Costin on? You know what I'm trying to do with Costin? I'm trying to get him on Pin High. I would love to get him on, though. Stevie Williams would be a good one. I'm going to hit up Stevie. That is a really good one. And Stevie's like doing crypto. Stevie owns businesses. Stevie's Kevin Stab. Okay. I saw the founder of Airbnb was at P-Rod's Park yesterday. I might have to lean on him for that. Tony Hawk had a lot of investment offers. He does have the most offers from corporations. Yeah, as far as like him doing deals with people, unbelievable, right? I would love to get Tony Hawk on. I got to be able to make that happen, right? The Gons would be sick. Steve Caballero would be good. That would be really good. All right, look at gang. We're doing this together. I'm going to have to give you guys all credit for this one. Steve Caballero is a really good one. We should do that. Any other ideas? Who should we get on the podcast? That's next. I gotta start getting some new heads on. Jamie. I already talked to Jamie. I think that one's gonna be a great one. I like having skaters on. That one's a pretty cool one. All right. Bob Menery. That might be a mess. But we're killing it. Shane, I don't know if Shane's going to get on the podcast. It's hard to get Shane to do stuff like that. Yeah, don't let this brand fool you. He is money smart. Wait, Caesar. Who are you talking about, Caesar? Who are you talking about? Oh, don't let his band fool you. He's money smart. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, does Steve Caballero have the best-selling skate shoe in history? Carl Watson would be a good one. I like that. That would be a really good one. Stevie at the Barracks. Come on down. You know what? I said something to Steve. I would love to honestly, I would love to have Bear on. I'm not sure I'd want to do it. I'm not sure he would want to do it. I'm going to ask, though. Who is money smart? De La Guinier? He was talking about Caballero, which I agree. All right, that's some good people. Here we go. Get E.T. on. When you're saying E.T., are we talking Eric Thomas? That would be cool to get him on, if that's what you're talking about. Any skaters that went to college? Malbin would be a good one. I could get Steve on. You know who went to college? Who's like he's smart, is Walker Ryan. Walker Ryan went to college. Walker went to college while he was a pro skateboarder. But not a lot of skaters did go to college. Need some lady skaters or girl swirl group. You know what? The girl swirl group, that's an interesting one. We follow each other on Instagram. I should hit them up. That's a good idea. Dang, guests are coming in now. They are coming in. The last one, it might be the next episode. It's not skaters, it's real estate, but we had Built by Rob, one of the hosts from Bigger Pockets on, and that one is going to be, I can already tell, it's going to be crazy. It was so good. Mark Gonzalez. I would love to get Mark on. I'm not sure Mark would come on, though. I'll take the shot. Worst thing you could say is no, right? All right, anyone else we're thinking? Tim Gavin. Richard Mulder. That's a really good one, actually. How have I not thought of Richard Mulder? That's an awesome one. Tim Gavin is coming on. I'm waiting for him to come on Pin High so I could school him at golf. But that's a good one. Rob Dyrdek, I've already reached out to. We're just working on scheduling. Rob's going to be a good one. Got to get Grant Cardone. I need to reach out to him. PBD, I reached out to him. He was in town. Patrick Bet-David was here over the weekend, and I hit him like, bro, sneak on. But he promised his wife he wouldn't do any podcasts while I was here. I'm getting Dyrdek on for sure. Brian Sumner, actually. That would be a good one. Brian Sumner would be interesting. We're going to talk about religion. That would be the conversation with Sumner, which I think would be cool. I'm blowing up. All right. What time is it? 4:30. All right. Chris Markovich. Where is Chris? Is he in Florida? That would be a cool one to have him come out for. That's actually a super good one. We got some good ones. This is going to be great. I think we have 7 podcasts in the queue. Next one dropping on Tuesday. These are some good names, though. Look, for those of you that are on these lives a lot with me, you guys created this podcast. If you remember, like, I would not have done the podcast without you guys telling me to create one, which was cool. You know what sucks, though? So we very quickly got to like the top 20 list on business podcasts. And something happened with our like hosting, and we had to freaking start over. That was brutal. So a lot of people that were following Life with Mikey, they weren't getting the new episodes. So if anyone's on here, I should just say it again in case you didn't know that. If you haven't got the last like 3 episodes, you're following the old one, which is so annoying that it's still up there. If you guys mind, just search Life with Mikey. You'll have one that has all 8 episodes. If you guys want to subscribe to that, I would love it. Letitia, that's a good one. Get Letitia on here. It's a super good one. Let's see, Rob Dyrdek. No, Rob Dyrdek. Rob Dyrdek is actually awesome. He's been nothing but a freaking great friend and mentor to me. Well, Letitia, I'm writing that one down. It's a good one. Letitia. Nick Dompierre, that's a good one. I just don't know where he lives now. Not sure where he is anymore. Danny Way would be a good. Kevion, that's an easy one. I got to get him on. Danny Way, that'd be a really cool one. Maybe even his brother. If I have his brother on, we're going to ask about DC. Colin McKay, that's a good one. All right, this list is freaking, you guys are crushing it. Kareem, oh my gosh, I would love to have Kareem. I would love that. All right, everybody, I got to run. I got invited to some launch of this new restaurant out here, so Jen and I are going to go to a little soft launch. Great hanging with you guys. Love you. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal Tuesday. Let's finish this week strong. Let's have a great week. Whatever your goals are, let's get them. If you're going through a challenge or a struggle, just know it is not for forever. It's going to get easier. It's going to get better, and you're going to